All right, everybody. Long time, no update. Um, Finally got the Dart back together in the off season. Lots to catch up on. But she's fired back up. When I pulled it apart to try and fix that crank reluctor issue that I've been battling for quite a while now, found some less than stellar things with the piston rings and some wear on the cylinder walls. So I took it, had it honed, had them pull off that 24X reluctor, put a 58X on there, and actually tack weld it in place so we don't have any movement this time around. It definitely moved on the old setup. And now it's got that 58X on there. While we had it apart, again, found some nasty looking piston rings. Ripped out the Aries pistons. It's got a new set of Weissco's in there now. It's honed, had everything done, had the whole block tanked, cleaned up. Gregory's put the bottom end together for me. Then I finished up on the top end on it, and then put the heads back together. Got everything bolted back up. Had issues early on. Once we got it back together, with not getting enough crank and RPM. Turns out the wire from the battery to the starter just wasn't cutting it anymore, and the car decided it didn't like it. So rip it out, put a new 2 gauge in there, fires up, spins like a champ now. And been running, taking it on a couple little short drives around the neighborhood, up and down the road, just to make sure things are good to go. Get some break-in miles on it. Did a break-in oil change on it now, and then had a couple of issues. Had a small fuel leak that developed on the front passenger fuel or front driver side fuel well right here. So I ended up having to rip that off. Pulled the 2 fuel lines that I used to have coming off of here and here. I pulled them off because they used to be routed a little bit different, and they used to go up under the intake manifold here where that vacuum line is. And it was just too big of a pain in the ass if something was going on to get up underneath there and replace them. So I got them routed a little bit differently now to make them easier for maintenance wise. Also part of the switch over, took out the 1X camshaft sensor there at the back of the motor, and now we're on to the 4X up here on the front. So it's completely switched over to 58X 4X, put everything back together. Everything's been happy ever since. The only other thing I redid the fuel line or the transmission lines on here, because they've been on there since, good God, 2017 when I first got the turbo 400 swap done on this thing and got it running. Got that all back together. Redone. I took those old RC Comp Torques I had, sent them off back to RC Comp, had them bead locked. Got a set of Hoosiers on there right now. That's going to be a maybe for keeping them on there, because I've got a no prep race in March. But if I do like I'm planning and send the car down to Mincer and get the car set up and the shocks overhauled, because the AFCO 3650s have been on there for 7 years too, and during a couple of those 2 dragon drives out there in Washington State, you can start hearing them make some noise, and it's not necessarily sitting and riding the way I want it to. So they're a little tired, a little worn out. So the shocks are absolutely going down to Mincer to get revalved for the car. They've got all my information already. I'm just trying to wait and see if I pull the trigger. If I do pull the trigger and take the car down there, then the slicks are going to come off, and it's just going to stay on radials. It'll be a front half only car, or a front track only car after that, because I'm not going to mess with it once those guys who know a lot more about this stuff than I do, once they get their hands on it, I'm not going to mess up a good thing. I'm going to let them dial her in and learn from them. Yeah, she's back together. She runs. Finally fixed my boost leak right here on that damn blow-off valve. That's done. Nothing really changed on inside of the car. Still same old street car, bench seat in the back like always. Only big things, again, off season was the turbo upgrades. Intercoolers now up there in the intake, and between the front and rear wheels and everything else that's been done, she's down about 200 pounds. So between the precision turbos, lighter weight E85 now, faster spool, better converter from Circle D. Yeah, I'm excited to see what she does. We're heading up to EFI Specialties, Dave Katz up there in Fredericksburg, on Thursday to have a little dyno session with him. Dave's been tuning all my cars pretty much since I was 16. Back when I first had my first DSM and didn't know a damn thing about cars and just bought it because it was an import and turboed and pissed my dad off. It went fast. Back then, all stock car running 14.3s was screaming with all the little free mods we did to it. But he's been tuning my cars for 15, 16 years now. Never once had an issue with any tune he's ever done. Never once blown up a motor, no matter how much my dumbass threw at it. Boost wise, I had a stock head DSM running 32 pounds of boost, 34 pounds of boost with only, I think, head bolts in it and a couple other small things. We had a 600 all-wheel horsepower Evo I had before that Dave tuned, remote tuned. Never had an issue out of that car. He tuned the old 388 or 370 that I used to have in this when the car went to 850 at 155. And then basically once I switched to that 408, it's been having that crank issue. So I never really got to be able to fully utilize the tune-up that Brady had on it out there at DAC Tunes in Washington. So I never got to fully see what that could do. But now that I'm back over here and I can't really get Brady to tune it, I'm gonna go back to my tried and true Dave up there and have him throw a tune-up on it, and I know I won't blow it up no matter what my idiot self does to it. Yeah, that's kind of been the update as far as the car goes. What else is there? Streetcar bragging rights down in Rockingham, North Carolina. We'll absolutely be doing that. I'm going to run the streetcar index class there, and then also the streetcar bragging rights shootout to see hopefully I can compete on that level. But we're going to see how that goes. And then I think I've got got a couple other races I'm going to try to make throughout the year. I know I'll have to get a whole list and I'll post it up later on an update, probably after the dyno update video from Thursday. But I know there's a Drop the Hammer drag and drive down in North Carolina in September that I'm going to try and do. 6 Summers already sold out, but I need to get me a trailer for this thing anyway and set it up. So date after we finish up at the dyno on Thursday, and I'll get a little start up real quick. Just gonna see her fire up.